Hello, Mzansi. Happy New Year. And as far as 2025, and it's game on. I'm Sizwe Mapena, and we are carrying on from where we left off at the end of last year. Plenty to talk about, of course, and start off the show, as we usually do, with Shane McGregor, but something a little new for you that we'll be giving you this year. We'll also be covering the Bundesliga. So, Shane, let's talk about it. The football out in Germany always gives us a lot to talk about, especially from a Bayern Munich point of view. Vincent Kompany out there, and well, they're getting business done with Kompany, a young manager, and with some rather entertaining players with the likes of Musiala, helping them with a 5-1 win over Leipzig.
Yeah, you know, they obviously top of the log and gained well. Got some of the best strikers there. You've got Kane there, you've got Musiala scoring goals.
Talent in Germany, yeah?
Yeah, Musiala's a decent player. I mean, we all saw in Europe, European champs, how good he was. And they just seem to keep on working and keep on going. You know, last year was a bad year for them. They didn't basically win the league. And for Bayern, that's a no-no. You've got to be league winners, otherwise you're in trouble. But they are going well this season, top of the log. Couple of points clear, but it's not over yet. It's a long way to go.
I have to ask you, we all know Kompany, the player, with Belgium, with City for a long time in his career. We know of Kompany, especially as South Africa, as the coach out in England last year, and how he won how well he did in the championship and tried to take the football into the top flight of English football. It didn't quite work out for him. Did you expect him firstly to move to Germany with that signing, and also to be as dominant as he has been, as young as he is as a coach?
Yeah, you know, I didn't expect him to go to a big club like Bayern.
Yeah.
I must be honest with you. I liked his work ethic, and I liked the way he had the guys playing in England at Burnley. You know, he stuck to his guns. He didn't, which say yes or no is right or wrong. He still stuck to his guns, played attractive football, and he's actually become a good link with Bayern because they play a very similar way of the way he was thinking. You know, so I think the management looked at this and thought, well, let's give him a shot, you know, give him a chance and see what happens. And it's worked wonders for them. He does like to play that, the keeping the ball, knocking around, getting behind players, crosses in, but he does like to keep the ball. And that's what Bayern like to play, and that's how they like to play. They've got an identity, and they've kept it, which is a good thing.
Well, there's one side that certainly had us talking last year. That was Leverkusen, and they're trying to give us pretty much the same in quality as last season. They come up against Freiburg, smashed them 5. The quality side really do find the back of the net out in Germany, yeah?
Yeah, and they score a lot of goals. That's one thing about the German league is there are big goals in it. But, you know, we know them from last season, Leverkusen. You know, they were different class. They went through the season and thumped teams, and everyone thought, it's going to stop sooner or later, it's going to stop. And, you know, they just kept on winning games, kept on winning games, kept on going. They've done it more or less the same this season. There have been a few little upsets along the way, but they're still right up there, second on the log and going well. And they're still sticking to the guns. They play exactly the same way, which I like. You know, if a manager comes in or coach comes in and he sets his way, and the players give him a buy-in, it makes a big difference. And that's what's happened there. You know, they all bought into the way he coaches, the way he goes, Alonso, and the way everything else goes. I like it. And he's a good manager. He'll be, and not that Bayern aren't a big club, but by Leverkusen, he'll be at a big club very, very soon. When I say a big club, either in UK, Spain, or somewhere like that, he will be moving on in the near future.
Now, Bayern Munich, as you'd expect, 4-point lead at the top over Leverkusen, as you just say. But it's the chasing pack behind those two that I find rather interesting, especially for Leipzig, who are currently at a 4th spot behind Eintracht. Leipzig have an interesting project for those of you that are interested in what's happening behind the scenes and how a club just keeps building and finding young talent to compete with the very best.
Red Bull. Behind them.
Lovely project.
We all know now that that's where Klopp has gone. He's got involved in all the clubs. They're not just in Germany. They've got 2 clubs in Germany. They've got a club in America. They've got clubs all over the place. And he's taken on that project. But you're right. They seem to be the club that always brings the players through, sell them on. And unfortunately, they sell them on. You know, you're not going to win the league by doing that. You know, you can't keep on producing and then sell. So that is the thing. But if you look at the league, going back to the league, if you look at those after the first 2, it's very, very tight there. There's a very, very small difference in points, and it's very tight. And that's what I like about the German league as such. It's a very tight, very competitive league overall, you know, not like in UK where you got maybe 4 or 5 teams that are way ahead. and the others are way down. There it's very, very tight at the top.
Yeah, the top 10 it certainly is. I was looking for Dortmund, a little worried when I saw them at 6th spot, but then when I look at the points and the difference, they're not too far behind. But Dortmund, I think everyone's favourite underdog out of Germany, for those of us that have kept tabs with them over the last 15, 20 years.
Very good team.
Yeah. Lovely crowd as well.
Yeah,
it's
the crowd is
stadium,
brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go to that stadium, that is their 12th player. I mean, it is brilliant. And if you've never been and you've never seen it, it is brilliant for the game, you know. The one thing about them is they've also got that doggedness. I think the last game they had a player sent off and they still got the victory, which is, you know, that just shows exactly where they are. But for me, yeah, they're always one of those teams that you've got to look out for. They'll always be there and thereabouts come the end of the season.
It's interesting when you look at a Harry Kane situation. I was at Tottenham for so long. Signs at Bayern, for me, extremely late in his career.
Yeah.
And Jerry is still top goal scorer out in Germany, and I'm looking for that German star striker. Like they've given us over the years, your Müllers, your Wollers, there's many others, Klinsmann and so on, over the years. But when you think back the last 10 years, there isn't a great German striker to speak of.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's rocking things out there.
Yeah, the German strikers are far and few between. You know, you look at that, but you've got to look at Harry Kane. 5 of his goals come from the penalty spot. So he takes the penalties as well. So you've got to remember that. I think they got one in Bayern, but they don't play him as a striker, Musiala. He scores a lot of goals, and he will score a lot of goals. He's very dangerous. But you're right, those old strikers, the Klinsmanns of the world, and those type of players, Germany haven't seemed to be able to produce that of late, and that's a big worry for me, is that they have to rely on foreign talents, and especially Bayern. They've been doing that for the last few years.
Is it part of the cultural change we've seen with German football, where for those of us that have watched it from the 80s and so on, very German, and you know, we used to like joking as friends that they play 90-degree angles and so on, where you cross and so on. But over the last 10 years, there's a mix in Germany where you're seeing players like Musiala coming through, Wirtz, and the different playing style and expression is very different now.
It's different to what it was then, but if you look at world football, it's completely changed. The whole football way of playing has completely changed. I mean, many years ago, the Italians used to do that, and now they're not doing it anymore, you know, so everything has changed. It's gone better, I think. People are watching more games, they're picking up, they film more games, they see exactly how the opponent plays. They can tell you how long he's run, what he's done, the yardage he's done, the passes he's made. And, you know, it's become very, very technical nowadays. So they've all had to adjust and grow with it. And unfortunately with that, strikers around the world have been struggling. And that's the big thing.
Well, they certainly have been, but I tell you what, they haven't been struggling out in Germany in as far as entertaining us, and we'll be hoping going into the second half of the season they continue to entertain us as we look to keep up with who's running things at the top. Currently it's a company, but will someone be able to make it a tough first season out in Germany for Visit Company? That's the question. On the other side of this, Shane stays with me. We talk about, well, what's been going on in South African football so far. From before the season started, coaches have been coming in and out. Before the season started, continued right through the first half of the 24-25 season. Stay with us.